Today, let's talk about something we all experience at some point: anger. This deeply human and universal emotion can seem like an obstacle, but with the right approach, it can become a powerful life teacher. How many times have you felt anger taking over, clouding your mind and leaving marks on your relationships or even on yourself? Anger is intense and has the power to transform us, for better or worse. But here's the good news: how we handle anger is a choice we can make. Buddhism teaches us that by understanding and transforming anger, we have the chance to grow, cultivate compassion, and build inner peace. Let's explore how this ancient wisdom can help us face anger constructively and turn it into an ally on our path to self-development. Ready to begin this journey? In Buddhism, anger is seen as one of the three poisonous emotions, alongside obsessive desire and ignorance. These emotions are called poisons because they cloud our clear view of reality, pulling us away from serenity and balance. Anger, in particular, arises when we feel threatened or when things don't go as we wish. It stems from a central illusion: attachment to the self. This attachment makes us see the world as separate, creating a constant sense that something or someone is against us. It's this distorted view that fuels the fire of anger. But here's a powerful teaching: anger isn't something to be fought or suppressed. In Buddhism, we're encouraged to understand it. When you understand your anger, it stops being an enemy and becomes an opportunity for growth. So instead of judging yourself for feeling angry, ask yourself, where is this coming from? What is this emotion trying to show me about my expectations, fears, or attachments? Understanding the source of anger is the first step toward transforming it. How about taking a moment to reflect on how you handle your own anger? Let's keep exploring together. Mindfulness is a powerful tool for dealing with anger constructively. At its core, mindfulness means being fully present, observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment. When anger arises, our tendency is to react automatically. We raise our voices, act impulsively, or bottle up the feeling, letting it consume us from within. But through the practice of mindfulness, we learn to create a space between the stimulus and our response. It's in this space that we find the freedom to choose how to act. When you notice anger building up, try this simple exercise. Focus on the rhythm of your breath. This helps to slow down your mind and body. Say to yourself, "I'm feeling angry." This acknowledgement creates a level of awareness that weakens the grip of the emotion. Don't fight the anger. Recognize that it's there, but remind yourself that you are not your anger. It's just a temporary visitor. Over time, this practice of observing and welcoming anger becomes more natural. You realize you don't have to act in the heat of the moment, and there's incredible power in simply being present with the emotion. Remember, it's not about suppressing or ignoring anger, but about looking at it with curiosity and acceptance. This is the first step to transforming that energy into something positive. Picture a situation where someone made you angry. Now, consider this: that person might also be suffering, dealing with their own pain and limitations. This shift in perspective is what transforms anger into an opportunity for compassion. In Buddhism, there's a practice called Tonglen, which means giving and receiving. It's a meditation that helps us work with difficult emotions like anger. Here's how you can start. Sit comfortably and bring to mind the situation that made you angry. Inhale deeply, imagining that you're taking in the pain and suffering involved, both yours and the other person's. Exhale, visualizing that you're sending understanding, love, and compassion to yourself and to everyone involved. It might seem counterintuitive, doesn't it? Inhaling pain and exhaling love. But this is precisely what breaks the cycle of anger. You stop seeing it as something that separates and begin to understand that, at our core, we all want the same thing: to be happy and free from suffering. Here's an inspiring story. A Tibetan monk, after years of unjust imprisonment, was asked about his greatest challenge. He replied, "There were moments when I feared losing compassion for my captors." This response shows how compassion can be a transformative path, even in the most extreme situations. When we embrace anger with compassion, it dissolves, and in its place arises wisdom, the wisdom that we are all interconnected and that we can choose to respond with empathy instead of reacting with resentment. How about practicing Tonglen or reflecting on how you can transform your next experience of anger into compassion? One of Buddhism's fundamental truths is that everything in life is impermanent, including emotions. This includes anger, no matter how intense it may seem at the moment. When we understand that anger is temporary, we learn to handle it more lightly and consciously. Think about a time when you felt very angry. At that moment, it might have seemed like the emotion would last forever, right? But it passed. Like all emotions, anger arises, peaks, and eventually fades away, much like a wave in the ocean. When we're caught in the middle of an emotional storm, the practice of acceptance can be a true refuge. Acceptance doesn't mean agreeing with what happened or ignoring your feelings. It simply means recognizing the emotion and allowing it to follow its natural course, without resistance or attachment. When we let go of anger and stop feeding it with thoughts and judgments, we create space for something far more valuable: inner peace. And with that peace, we can see the situation more clearly and wisely. So, the next time anger arises, ask yourself, will this emotion still weigh as heavily on me in an hour? A day? A week? This simple reflection can completely shift your perspective. In the heat of the moment, anger can lead us to react in ways we later regret. But there's transformative power in active patience, the ability to pause, observe, and consciously choose the best way to respond. Contrary to popular belief, patience is not passivity or resignation. It's an inner strength that allows us to act with firmness and wisdom, even in challenging situations. It's the balance between not reacting impulsively and not ignoring what needs to be addressed. Here's a practical example. Imagine you're stuck in chaotic traffic, and someone abruptly cuts you off. The automatic reaction might be to honk, yell, or get upset. But active patience offers another option: take a deep breath, acknowledge the anger, and choose not to let it control you. This doesn't mean condoning wrong behavior, but preserving your peace while deciding how to respond, or whether the situation even warrants a response. With practice, patience becomes a natural reflex. You realize you don't have to be a hostage to anger and can face challenges with courage and balance. Remember, patience isn't weakness. On the contrary, it's a powerful force that protects your peace and inspires those around you. Anger, when viewed with attentive eyes and an open heart, ceases to be an enemy and becomes a great teacher. It shows us our limits, our expectations, and our attachments. Most importantly, it gives us the opportunity to grow, cultivating compassion, wisdom, and patience. Buddhist wisdom helps us deal with anger constructively. Now is the time to put these teachings into practice. The next time anger arises, remember, it's just an emotion, not who you are. Accept it, observe it, and use it as a catalyst for growth. Anger can be uncomfortable, but it's an invitation to transformation. By choosing to face it with awareness and courage, you take a step toward true inner freedom. Thank you for being here and dedicating your time to this journey of self-discovery. And remember, every moment is a new chance to grow and connect with the peace that already exists within you.